I think there's no doubt that there's like a sentiment in the air that is like that very much of, unfortunately, no, I won't say it. It's premature. Anyways, I do think it's about time Jesus take the wheel. And if that happens, people will think him to be either a place of peace or like the literal devil. If Jesus came back today, people would think him to be like the literal devil. Because you might think that these devils work for Satan, and in some beliefs, people believe that Satan and Jesus, Lucifer and Jesus, Lucifer is like a counterpart to Satan, are the same person. And there's a reason for it. It's like, have you ever met anybody who seemed to be so wicked or narcissistic? But if you think about it, it's like, who are they serving? Do they always serve the devil? No, probably not. They are here to make people have a freaking backbone. So, in like the topic of Christianity and the sheep and the flock, it's like, yeah, Jesus saves his sheep. Maybe not all these people are interested in prospering in this world. Maybe they're not, and that's different. But at the same time, there are Christians who do want to prosper in the world, and there is a counterfeit spirit that is like wanting to take place of that, the authority of Christ. And that's very dangerous also. It seems. I mean, can these people survive when it's when it actually becomes an authority? We'll see. Because a lot of the most successful people in the world are steeply Luciferian. They understand, they know, they have to know that Christ is king, Christ is God, Christ is king. And then there's also this, like, for some reason, type of responsibility to be predators towards the weak because it's survival of the fittest. There is a section of humanity that's like predators, not necessarily psychopaths. I think psychopaths are different. And I think even like narcissists are like, the term is too loosely used, not too loosely. It's real, but also you got to have a backbone, so you don't f with those people, right? This is a mechanism of Christ. This is narcissism is very Luciferian. Like, you don't mess with them, right? You don't co-create with them because it's our will against theirs. At some point, the survival is going to be mutual. This is why I believe that Luciferian Christianism is the future, because you have to understand there's a mechanism of death that is required to protect resources. You see it in nature. So all these like Satanists, some Satanists are the most Christian people you'll ever meet. And just like some Christian people are the most folly and satanic people you'll ever meet, they do not follow what they claim to believe. And at the end of the day, if Jesus took the wheel, it would be a dicey territory of perspective. But if love actually became an authority in life, if people actually had to make a choice, finally, because it came down to their survival, they would quickly choose Christ, would they not? And if they didn't want to, they would have peace through Christ and going to heaven, living eternally in that vibration of love instead of that vibration of hell, because this world can be hell to people if you, so like it's half and half for me, because I feel like a lot of my desires for heaven relies a lot on the people who are around me. If people around me choose hell as a experience that they want to or keep contracting into, I don't want to co-create with them. But if people want heaven, this is the difference, because there's a lot of this antichrist spirit that is like, this preaching love. But if your lifestyle in your life is not a heavenly vibration, that is the Antichrist. It's unbelievable to me the amount of narcissists I've met in my life that profess love. And I'm like, but you're surrounded by people who are gross. Their energy is gross. They're lesbian, they're gay, they're sodomites. Nothing against lesbian, gay, and sodomite. It doesn't that's not even like the whole requirement. It's just, is your lifestyle gross? Is it disgusting to God? It's like some of the shit I see on Netflix, I can't even eat. I have to I lose my appetite. And it has to be available for people to see where people are at. Yeah, that shit makes me lose my appetite. Like, I cannot eat watching two women kiss. It's disgusting to me. Not just like it's disgusting, it's like I just lose my appetite. I'm not judging you, I lose my appetite. Because there's something unpleasing to God. Like, there's something so unnatural about that. It seems. I'm just saying it seems. That's all. But what if Jesus took the wheel? And what if people really had to make the choice between letting their spirit be refined in the fire through him or completely denying it? And then they've been in it. Is this just like saying something that's already happened? And then they're just completely given over to a reprobate mind. And in that reprobate mind, these people think that they're living in love. You know, there's all this controversy around ICE, and it's like, well, these disgusting immigrants in Texas are fucking pigs. Excuse my language. They're pigs and they're pedophiles, and they're absolute pigs and pedophiles. So ice it up. In Texas, ice it up. Get them out. They breed like goddamn rabbits because they're pigs and pedophiles, and then those kids, like, do we pay for them? This is what I'm so curious about, because I don't know that we actually are. The people who want the organ harvesting, want all that worship to their disgusting God, maybe they're paying for it. Maybe they're the ones paying for it. But if they're not, then guess what, dude? The way that God would have it is remove that resource from disgusting people, come what may. Unfortunately, a lot of innocent people fall through the cracks of authority. Borders are important. Like, labels are important. You know, when you get in a relationship, it's like, are we single or are we dating or are we in a committed relationship? That's a border. Marriage is a border. Borders are important. Protecting borders are important. Actually putting things, labels on things, is important. You can't just live willy-nilly in moral decay. You can, but you get a hellish experience, right? You live in hell. But that's not going to prosper you. It's not going to be good for your health. It's not going to be good for your future. And it's like, maybe Jesus already came back in a way, because there is a spiritual segregation where you cannot co-create with an opposing will. There's only one will for this world, and it's probably a dance of singularity, of finding the will of God through the material world. I mean, we do live in a material world. So I see these dating shows of these people who are like trying to create connections through a material sense. And I think that's very interesting, because I, on the other hand, have only ever created connections through a spiritual sense. And I would think like, well, I love you, so it should work out. Because I love you, it should work out. And that is the authority of God through Christ. If I love you and you love me, it should work out, because first it has to be the authority of God. But again, borders, labels. Do we worship the same God? Not worship. Are we guided by the same God? If you're not, it's not going to work out. So if people are brought together through a material sense and it doesn't bring love and truth and joy, how to both of them, how can that last? Like, look at these dating shows. It's so interesting because I watch them. Like, I've only ever been given the opportunity to create a connection based on spirit through God, through Christ, even if it's judgment brought to the person. But if the person doesn't accept Christ just through bending to the will of my authority, the authority in me, then the relationship fails. And it could be romantic or family or whatever. We don't, in my family, we don't enable people. And I think this season of not enabling anybody has made us all stronger. This is why it's very low drama, is because it's strength without enabling. And yeah, if a real authority came, like, it would be perceived as the enemy. If some authority came through a person who is like interacting with a person whose will is against them, then it's going to appear as if that person is controlling or manipulative or whatever, me being the person in question. But it's just, I follow an authority, and I just cannot diminish myself to fit the mold of the Antichrist, the opposite nature of me. So, and it's like the micro and the macro, and it will cause a financial reset. There's no way about that. It will. Is old generation that's dying off. Like, we don't want them to, obviously, but it's evident and obvious, like, it's going to happen, and it's going to change a lot. The baby boomers, they're a huge generation, and the baby boomers are like the last of like the hybrids, it seems, because there were all these like weird alien programs where they were like mixing DNA. I don't think that like Gen Z, they're like the offspring of the mix, but the original mix, it seems, happened in the boomer generation. And there's like a mixed bag of outcomes for the boomer generation, because I think they were the last generation to be hybridized with alien DNA. I'm a millennial. I'm like an offspring of a hybrid. I want my parents to live forever. I don't know that that is the case. I hope it is. If you take care of yourself, I mean, not taking care of yourself is a problem. You don't take care of your temple, which I don't. So I'm preaching to myself here. I don't actually. I'm a poisonous mess. And maybe that is my testing of God. I don't know. Maybe that is circumstantial. I don't know. Maybe I'm not meant to live. I don't know. If I had cancer, I would be like, don't tell me, just let me die. Like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. If I'm dying, I kind of just want to let myself die personally. But, at the same time, I'm relatively healthy. So I would hope that my loved ones would still want to stick around also. What good is life extension technology if we're not all sticking around? If you're outliving all of your younger siblings, like in your younger family, like, what good is life extension technology if you're not all doing it? But doesn't that come with the recognition of Christ? I think so. I really do.